A flicker of candlelight dances over parchment, illuminating sketches that seem to belong not to the 15th century, but to some distant future. In a cramped Florentine workshop, a solitary figure bends over his work, his eyes burning with restless intensity. He draws not only what he sees, but what he imagines. A flying machine with wings like a bat, an anatomical study of a human heart, a city engineered to resist plague. The world outside remains tethered to tradition, yet within these walls, Leonardo da Vinci is conjuring visions that defy the boundaries of his era. The night is silent, save for the scratch of quill on paper and the quiet murmur of thought. Leonardo's mind moves ceaselessly, leaping from art to science, from the mysteries of the human body to the mechanics of the heavens. He is a man possessed by questions, driven by a relentless curiosity that refuses to yield to the accepted truths of his time. Even as the Renaissance dawns across Italy, few can grasp the magnitude of his genius. As the first rays of morning creep through the window, illuminating the scattered pages of invention and inquiry, it becomes clear, this is no ordinary artist. Leonardo da Vinci is a mind centuries ahead of his own, a mind that will challenge, disrupt, and ultimately redefine the boundaries of human knowledge. Before we continue this journey through one of history's most remarkable minds, I'd like to invite you to support the channel. If you enjoy thoughtful stories that explore the lives and ideas that shaped our world, please consider liking this video and subscribing. Your support helps these stories reach more curious minds. Leonardo's story begins in 1452 in the small Tuscan town of Vinci, nestled among rolling hills and olive groves. Born the illegitimate son of a notary, Ser Piero da Vinci, and a peasant woman, Caterina, Leonardo is marked from the start as an outsider. Yet the countryside becomes his first and greatest teacher. As a boy, he wanders the fields and forests, captivated by the patterns of clouds, the flight of birds, and the intricate workings of plants and streams. Nature, for Leonardo, is not a backdrop, but a living, breathing world of endless fascination. He fills his childhood hours with observation and discovery, capturing frogs and lizards, sketching rocks and flowers, and marveling at the hidden order within chaos. His illegitimacy, rather than a curse, grants him freedoms denied to others. He is not bound by the rigid expectations of inherited profession or social status. The rhythms of rural life instill in him a sense of wonder and an urge to understand the world in all its complexity. The young Leonardo's notebooks, filled with sketches and questions, hint at a mind already attuned to the subtleties of nature, already seeking the logic behind the beauty. In the quiet fields of Vinci, the seeds of his insatiable curiosity take root. At the age of 14, Leonardo's father recognizes his son's prodigious talent and apprentices him to the renowned Florentine artist, Andrea del Verrocchio. In Verrocchio's bustling workshop, Leonardo is thrust into a world of artistic rigor and technical mastery. Here, he learns the fundamentals of drawing, painting, sculpture, and metalwork, absorbing the techniques that will later define his own style. But it is not mere skill that sets Leonardo apart. It is his way of seeing. Under Verrocchio's guidance, he learns to study the world with a critical eye, to question appearances and search for underlying truths. He observes how light caresses the curve of a cheek, how muscles flex beneath skin, how movement can be captured in a single poised gesture. He studies the works of ancient masters and contemporary innovators alike, drawing inspiration from their achievements, but never content to imitate. Florence itself becomes a crucible for Leonardo's burgeoning intellect. The city, alive with the spirit of the Renaissance, teems with scholars, artists, and thinkers. Leonardo drinks deeply from this well of ideas, forging friendships and rivalries that will shape his journey. Through his apprenticeship, he learns not only to create, but to inquire, to approach art as a science and science as an art. Leonardo's first true breakthrough arrives in the late 1470s, when he is entrusted with painting an angel in Verrocchio's The Baptism of Christ. Working alongside his master, Leonardo's subtle use of light and shadow, his delicate rendering of form, astonish all who see it. According to legend, Verrocchio, upon witnessing the surpassing skill of his pupil, vows never to paint again. This moment marks more than a technical triumph. It signals a shift in the very approach to art. Leonardo is no longer content to replicate reality. He seeks to understand and reinterpret it. He experiments with perspective, anatomy, and the play of light, pioneering new methods that breathe life into his figures. In his early works, such as the Annunciation and the portrait of Ginevra de' Benci, one glimpses the emergence of a new visual language, one that unites observation and imagination. Leonardo's reputation grows, and with it, his ambition. He begins to keep detailed notebooks, filled with sketches, diagrams, and mirrored handwriting. Each page is a testament to a mind unbound by convention, a mind forging connections between disciplines, seeking patterns where others see only fragments. In these formative years, Leonardo da Vinci begins to chart a course that will forever alter the trajectory of art and science. As Leonardo matures, his creative output deepens and expands, culminating in works that will come to define not only his own legacy, but the very spirit of the Renaissance. In Florence, then Milan, he embarks on monumental commissions, each an opportunity to fuse his artistic vision with scientific inquiry. The Virgin of the Rocks astounds with its atmospheric perspective and botanical precision, while The Last Supper, painted in the refectory of Santa Maria delle Grazie, captures the psychological drama of Christ's final meal with unprecedented intensity. Yet it is Mona Lisa that endures as the most enigmatic portrait in history. Her smile, elusive and haunting, seems to flicker between worlds, an embodiment of Leonardo's fascination with the interplay of light, emotion, and the mysteries of the human soul. Through sfumato, his innovative blending technique, he conjures an illusion of life so vivid that viewers feel they are in the presence of a living being. Beyond painting, Leonardo's notebooks overflow with designs for machines, studies of anatomy, and visions of urban planning. He sketches flying apparatuses, armored vehicles, and intricate waterworks, many centuries ahead of their time. Though few of these inventions are realized, their very conception reveals a mind unafraid to dream beyond the horizon, to imagine what might one day be possible. Through his art and his ideas, Leonardo da Vinci shapes the world in ways both seen and unseen. For Leonardo, the world is a grand laboratory, and every phenomenon invites investigation. He approaches science not as a separate discipline, but as an extension of his artistic quest to understand reality. His anatomical studies, conducted in secret and at great personal risk, yield drawings of the human body with unparalleled accuracy. He dissects cadavers, observing the intricate workings of muscles, bones, and organs, and records his findings with the precision of a modern physician. Leonardo's curiosity extends to the forces of nature themselves. He studies the flow of water, the flight of birds, the growth of plants, and the movement of clouds. His notebooks are filled with hypotheses and experiments, some successful, others inconclusive, all driven by a desire to uncover the laws that govern the universe. He devises ingenious experiments to test his theories, whether measuring the velocity of falling objects or charting the course of rivers. Unlike many of his contemporaries, Leonardo insists on the primacy of observation and experience. He rejects blind adherence to authority, urging instead that truth be sought through direct engagement with the world. In doing so, he anticipates the methods of modern science, laying the groundwork for generations of thinkers to come. In Leonardo's hands, art and science are not rivals, but partners in the pursuit of knowledge. Yet, even as Leonardo's genius flourishes, he faces obstacles that threaten to extinguish his vision. The world around him is slow to change, patrons are fickle, funds are scarce, and the church eyes his investigations with suspicion. Many of his most ambitious projects, giant equestrian statues, elaborate engineering works, even his treatises on anatomy, remain unfinished, victims of circumstance or the sheer magnitude of his ambition. Leonardo's restless mind, ever leaping from one pursuit to another, is both his greatest asset and his most persistent tormentor. He is haunted by doubts, plagued by the fear that he will never bring his grand designs to completion. Critics accuse him of being unreliable, a genius unable to deliver. In moments of solitude, he wrestles with the limitations of his own mortality. The knowledge that time is slipping away, wars and political upheaval further disrupt his work, forcing him to flee from city to city, seeking new patrons and new opportunities. The very breadth of his interests, once celebrated, becomes a source of frustration both for himself and those who depend on him. Yet through adversity, Leonardo perseveres, driven by a conviction that the pursuit of knowledge, however incomplete, is its own reward. In his final years, Leonardo finds refuge in France, at the court of King Francis I. The French king, captivated by the aging master's reputation, welcomes him as an honored guest, granting him the Château du Clos Lucé near Amboise. Here, Leonardo is given the freedom he has long craved, free from the pressures of constant commissions and the turbulence of Italian politics. Though his health begins to fail, Leonardo continues to work, surrounded by his loyal disciples and his ever-growing collection of notebooks and inventions. He reflects on a lifetime of creation and inquiry, reviewing his unfinished works and the countless sketches that fill his pages. In conversations with Francis I, he shares his visions for the future, a future in which art and science walk hand in hand. On May 2, 1519, Leonardo passes away in his adopted home, leaving behind a legacy that is as vast as it is incomplete. He is laid to rest in the chapel of St. Hubert, his mind at last at peace. In these final moments, Leonardo achieves a quiet sense of completion, not through finished masterpieces, but through a life lived in pursuit of understanding, ever faithful to the mysteries of the world. Centuries have passed since Leonardo da Vinci's hand last touched canvas or turned a page in his notebook, yet his influence echoes through the corridors of history. His paintings continue to captivate, their secrets still debated by scholars and admirers alike. His scientific sketches, once hidden away, are recognized as precursors to discoveries that would shape modern anatomy, engineering, and flight. Leonardo's true legacy lies not in the works he completed, but in the questions he dared to ask and the boundaries he refused to accept. He embodied the Renaissance ideal of the universal man, a mind unafraid to wander, to doubt, to dream. In his fusion of art and science, he forged a path for generations of creators and thinkers who would follow. His spirit lives on in every act of inquiry, every leap of imagination, every attempt to see the world anew. As the light fades on Leonardo's era and the modern age dawns, his vision remains undimmed, a beacon for all who seek to understand the world in its infinite complexity. In the end, Leonardo da Vinci changed not only how we see, but how we think. His life is a testament to the boundless power of curiosity, a reminder that the greatest discoveries await those who dare to look beyond the horizon. Thank you for spending this time exploring one of history's remarkable minds. If you found this journey meaningful, please consider liking the video and subscribing. It helps us continue telling thoughtful stories that inspire curiosity and understanding.